jump right in. Okay, so Filipino martial arts, Wednesday, the 3rd of June, Chinese, Filipino, Thai, Indonesian, French and Dog Brothers, and Japanese. And, oh, you know what? Keeping the theme of last class, if you want to quickly grab 2 sticks, let me show you something very quickly. Hey, Logan. If everybody just wants to quickly grab 2 sticks, I wanna teach something here that we normally don't have time to teach. So you have your double stick. I'll go over this a couple times, but this is good for you all to know. If you take your right hand stick and use it to knock your left hand stick back in this neutral position, and I'm aware that might take a little bit of practice, just here. Okay, so if I just kind of hold this left hand stick down and I take my right hand stick and knock this back, I take a right knee as I bring this right hand stick up to my third eye. I open, so I have one pointing to the heavens. I know this is off. My tip is pointing down, one pointing to the earth. I return back here, and then as I stand up, my right hand approaches the left hand, but it doesn't make contact. It does not touch down. See how there's a purposeful lack of contact. Let me kind of change the angle for everybody. Okay, so we would be here. We knock this back. We usually say Honda, Saludun, and we're there. Okay, so one more time. We're here. We knock that back. Here, here. Return, stand up. Don't let your left hand touch your right hand. Okay, that's the full salutation. And Logan, in the C lot, I was teaching the full. I won't go over it again, but the full salutation, the one that this is like an abbreviation for. Just this one. When I say Indonesian, that's supposed to kind of cliff notes this entire longer salutation. And it's the same thing when we do this for abbreviated Filipino. That's the shortened version for that full-on salutation. Okay, and the only other one is the Wing Chun and the Jeet Kune Do, because they're the same, which we're doing an abbreviated salutation. So I'll teach that on Monday of next week. Okay, so gentlemen, go single stick. And Logan, I was saying this class, I want to do something I haven't really done, and do some screen sharing with you all so you understand how the curriculum actually works together. Okay, so there will be times, it's a little different than C-Lot because we're not really working off the ground. So there will be some times that I'll just have you approach the screen so that you can see well, and then I'll kind of bounce back and forth, okay? So Filipino, and I use the term core, Filipino martial arts core, C-Lot core. And the reason that I use those terms is, especially in those 2 areas, this is not a statement of ego. I have way more material that I could be teaching you than I have time to teach. Okay, just like I could have a separate Inosanto La Costa class and have material for years. I could have a separate Applied Eskrima Balintawak class and have material plenty. I could have a separate Pekiti Tirsia class, and and much to the chagrin of some of my instructors, I don't do that, and I try to offer a balance of things. Okay, so my written curriculum is that balance. So 75, maybe 65% is always going to be Inosanto La Costa. I consider Inosanto La Costa my mother system. And let's kind of stick with one or two weapons configurations and isolate those so that you see how everything works together. So if you all want to briefly stand up, put the stick in your right hand. I know, you know, you're seeing my screen, my image of me is very small, but the written curriculum is big. You all should know by now the Eskrima 1 numbering system. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, okay? So stay where you're at. The way that's written up, it says Eskrima 1, 12 angle stationary dominant hand, right? So my dominant hand's my right hand. I'm doing the 12 angles stationary. I'm not moving. And what I'm trying to do with this class is kind of give you an idea of how I've written my curriculum, and not any kind of patting myself on the back, but just kind of show you why I've laid things out the way that I have, okay? So single stick coordination drills, might have been a little while since we've covered this. We do 3 reps of whichever pattern, low backhand and high backhand. So I'm doing downward X, low backhand, high backhand, upward X, low backhand, high backhand, and then flat X, or it's like an infinity sign, low backhand, high backhand. Okay, so let me, because I feel like I haven't taught this in a few weeks, so let me make this a little bigger. So we always start with a forehand attack. That'll make things easier for you. 3 reps of whatever we're working on. So downward X, it's just angle 1, angle 2, angle 1. Low backhand, high backhand. Okay, then we open up again. Upward X, so 1, 2, 3, low backhand, high backhand. And then the flat X, you don't see, if I really give a true lateral line, when we mirror train this, you can't pick that line up. Because what we're really supposed to be doing is, like, we each would have a partner. We both, like, our sticks meet, our sticks meet, our sticks meet, they meet, and they meet. We're mirror training it. Hit, click, click, meet, click, you know, that we're both doing the same motion. So for number 3, if I go true lateral, that's really hard to pick up. So I gotta do it more like an infinity sign, okay? So we go 1, 2, 3, low backhand, high backhand. And that's it. It's just those 3. It's downward X, 1, 2, 3, low backhand, high backhand. Upward X, 1, 2, 3, low backhand, high backhand. Flat X or horizontal X or the infinity sign. Very simple, okay? Those are single stick coordination drills. So I'm going to go back now because this part I know you know, and we'll be able to move through it very quickly. Backhand series, backhand all angles. So just the instruction. Let's say my partner was giving me sets of 5. Backhand to 1, backhand to 2, backhand to 3, backhand to 4, backhand to 5. You all know how to do that. Then the destruction to the X, destroy, make the X, destroy the 2X, the 3X, the 4X, the 5X. Then the redondo, destroy the 1, redondo, 2. I would do 5 reps. I'm not gonna, you all get it. We usually do sets of 5. Then 1 count sombrata. We've gone over this and recently. Roof for roof, right? We start largo. When you go to hit me, I roof, and then you roof. And then I roof, and then you roof. And we're at largo. So we can't check because we're out of range. That's the A version, largo. The B version, we step in, and now, you know, either checking on the outside or the inside of your hand. Roof check, you roof and check. I roof and check, you roof and check. I roof and check, you roof and check, okay? So you've all done that with me, or done most of those things. I feel like the coordination drills maybe I've missed, but I mean, everybody looked really good. So I want to stick with one or two weapons configurations and show you the idea here. Okay, and I need to make one other point, which I will in a moment. Okay, so here's Orange Belt. Inosanto La Costa, the single stick, weapons configuration. Eskrima 1, 12 angles stationary with the complementary hand. So take the stick, put it in your other hand, get in the left, for most of it, if it's left hand and left lead, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, make sure your palm up. 6 and 7, remember, chest level. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Everything, let me make a little point here, so I'll stop the share. Conceptually, everything is the same as in the right hand. So you all stay in your left hand, I'll get right back there. Forehand diagonal, backhand diagonal, forehand horizontal, backhand horizontal, palm up, forehand thrust. Left hand, forehand diagonal, backhand diagonal, forehand horizontal, backhand horizontal, forehand palm up, midline thrust. Okay, so in this system, it's not the lines, it's what was the attack. Like angle 1 is a forehand diagonal from the clavicle to hip. Angle 1 is a forehand diagonal from the clavicle to hip. Angle 2 is a backhand diagonal from the clavicle to hip. 3 is forehand horizontal, 4 is backhand horizontal, and so on. So 1 is a forehand diagonal, clavicle to hip. 2 is a backhand diagonal, clavicle to hip. 3 is a forehand horizontal midline. 4 is a backhand horizontal midline. 5 is a palm up thrust, forehand side to the belly. 6 is a palm outward thrust to the chest or clavicle area. 7 is an arc thrust, backhand side to the chest or clavicle area. 8, without opening my fingers, is a downward diagonal twisting slash to the temple. 9 is a rising diagonal forehand to the knee. 10 is a rising backhand diagonal to the knee. 11 is a forehand to the other temple that I didn't hit off of angle 8. I arm that. 12 is I thrust up, and I end on the opposite side shoulder that I've been dominant on. So see, everything stays the same. Some Filipino martial arts systems, just as an example, this is angle 1. So left-handed, that's angle 1 because it's about the line, right? That's not the case here. What kind of an attack was it? Whatever kind of attack it was, replicate that in your complementary side. Okay, so this is all stuff you can all work on, and anybody who's watching the recording can work on solo. You don't need an instructor. You can watch this and rewatch it and get it down. Okay, thrust, all 12 angles. For these, we're going to go back and then watik, all angles. So for these, I'll stop the share. Let's go back to our right, but you should play with what I'm about to show you in both hands. Okay, thrust, all 12 angles. Well, 5, 6, 7, and 12, there's going to be no changes because those are already thrusts. So everybody do your best to follow along with me. Thrust angle 1. Some of these are going to be awkward too. I'm just going to say it. Thrust angle 2. Thrust angle 3. Thrust angle 4. No change 5. No change 6. No change 7. 8 is awkward, but it is what it is. There's my 8. Yep. 9, 10, 11, and then arm your 12 and hit your 12. That's it. Okay? So One through four. No, number 2 is a little awkward, but it's not that bad. Number 8, because number 8 we're here, right? We go from 7, and it's a downward diagonal slash to their right temple. Well, I'm going to go 7, 8, and then turn that, let that open. 9 and 10 aren't that bad. And then I just come, because what is 11? 11, usually we hit, remember this is a temple shot. I hit my opponent in their left temple, but I pull it in preparation for the 12 normally. Well, here, I'm just going to go all the way through and then open it and then press 12. And let me say this, gentlemen, we're in Filipino martial arts and we're in an Inosanto-led system. I probably do it slightly different every time I do it. Like right now, 10 coming to this position, which is almost like a Balintawak quintada position, which I've been training for the past year. That feels really good. I don't know that I was doing my 10 like that, 10 to 11. I don't know that I was doing it that way before the last year of training. Okay, so this is not a kata, right? We're not in Wing Chun where it's gotta be the way it's supposed to be or it's wrong. Are you expressing the idea and do you have structure? If the answer is yes, then you're good. Okay, Waticks. 1. Watic means hit and retract. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now this one's tricky. Everybody watch. 8. It doesn't go through, right? Because normally 8 goes here. None of this is going through. 8. So it bounces off. 9. Hit the knee. 10. 11. And then 12. 12. Because we're not going through, right? 12. So a hit and retract. That's the Watic. So, and then let's take a look at how this also builds. Okay, single stick coordination drills, abanicos. This is high. So it's the same, here, I know I'm small, sorry. You see Logan, what's he doing? It's really hard when it's that small, I know. Okay, abanico means fan. Here's my high abanico. Here's my low abanico. That's that wrist motion. Fan it like you're fanning yourself. There's my fan. Okay. So high, high, high. Everybody watch. High, high, high. Low backhand, high backhand. Low, low, low. Low backhand, high backhand. High, low, high. Low backhand, high backhand. Low, high, low. Low backhand, high backhand. So these single stick coordination drills, the theme is abanicos. Last level, the theme was X's. We had downward X, low backhand, high backhand, upward X, low backhand, high backhand, flat X or horizontal X. And what was the theme? 3 reps of whatever pattern you're working on, starting on the forehand or the right side of your body. So all of these, and I'll talk about this in a second, but let me finish that thought. 3 reps of whichever one you're doing, followed by low backhand, high backhand. All of these, and this is taught directly to me by Guro Inosanto. It's never changed over the last, 17 years or whatever it's been. This has not changed. The first angle, this is the right side of my body, and when I go low, it's here. So when it's high, 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 low, 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 high, low, high, low, high, low. And my second school in California, we got into a real, I wasn't really contributing, and I'm not just trying to avoid blame, but we got into a real discussion that quickly turned into an argument as to whether this is a forehand or a backhand attack. Okay, so rather than get all pedantic and worry about that, let's just say you start on the right side of your body, no matter if it's high or low. Because if it's low, 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 that's the right side of my body. High, 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 that's on the right side. High, low, high. Low, high, low. And then all of those get followed up with low backhand, high backhand. Now, here is a part, this is a good opportunity to explain something, how I do things in my organization. And again, this is not, I'm not patting myself on the back, trying to illustrate a very important point. If you come up with some super cool way that you memorize, okay, I always got to start here, and it's helpful to people above and beyond me just saying, start on the right side, and you share that with me and I like it, whenever I use that, I'm always going to give you credit because you came up with that thing, okay? I have techniques in my systems that my students have come up with certain mnemonics, ways of memorizing them. They've given nicknames to certain techniques that help them remember what that technique is. Whenever people share those with me, if I like them, if I don't think they're going to add to confusion, that's the only time I might not think about it. That's never happened, by the way. They're always super cool. I always ask for permission. Hey, when I teach this, can I use that? And I always give the originator of the thing credit. And then this way I have more ways at my disposal to help people learn the techniques. That's a really important part of my organization because we're always growing and we're always getting better together. Yeah, I've been teaching all this for a really long time, and I mean, I think I'm pretty good at it. Can I use insight and ideas on additional awesome ways to teach this to people? Absolutely. And if I was like threatened, how dare you, Conrad, come up with some cool terminology? How dare, that didn't come from me, so you son of a gun. Like, what a negative way of operating. I'd rather, hey, Conrad came up with this term, and I think it's super awesome, and let me share it with you, because maybe it'll help you all learn this. Okay, so that's the way I do business. Anyways, so do that with me in the air. 3 highs, high, high, high. Low backhand, high backhand. 3 lows, low, low, low. Low backhand, high backhand. High, low, high. High, low, high. Low backhand, high backhand. Low, high, low. Low, high, low. Low backhand, high backhand, okay? The abanicos are also another opportunity for me to just quickly say something I think is very important. The abanicos are not really something that I think I'm very good at, and they're not really something that fit my fighting style. However, people like Guro Sonny Mayo out of Queens here in New York City, he's a Doce Paris practitioner, very high level under Don Cuesta, who is also super high up in the web of Doce Paris. Guro Sonny, like, you don't want to get hit with his abanicos, okay? Like, he's one of the people. I used to have a very minor, like, I don't know if that's a great technique. I'll certainly teach it because it's traditional, but behind the scenes, I don't know if I like it. Then I saw somebody who can actually hit hard with it consistently, okay? So it's very important as an instructor to teach outside of your comfort zone and to communicate preferences with your students. So just because, I'm not super good at these and I don't feel like they would fit, like, and when I talk about my fighting style, I'm talking about like material I would actually use in Dog Brothers or like I did some full contact stick fighting in the Philippines in February for Pekiti Tirsia. This kind of a thing simply doesn't fit me because I'm not very good at it. But you look at Guru Sonny do it, he'll do it on a heavy back, and it's always super fast, super hard. So as an instructor, I like to teach things even if they're not my cup of tea, because you all might be like, that's awesome, and they might fit you, okay? So that's, you can see the progression. That's what I was trying to kind of do. Is now the second level, you see where we go single stick coordination drills. Backhand series, I'm going to stay with the screen small because you should all know this. We add in, you backhand any angle and you make your X to redondo. You backhand any angle and you make your redondo to the X. And I could do those against, you know, sets of 5, because usually my feeder will give me the first 5 angles, and you know, if I'm doing extra redondo, I get 5 reps. That's kind of the typical modality. These 2-person drills, honestly, they're going to be a little hard to teach you by myself. I'll spend a couple of minutes and then I want to move on. I like to call these drills pre-sombrata drills. So I will show you how I have everybody approach them on their own, even in a group class, before you try it with a partner. So let's learn the feeder side. So everybody make an angle 1, and let me make my I'll make my screen, make my screen bigger here. Okay, excuse me. So this part's gonna be easy. Everybody make an angle 1. Everybody make an angle 2. Everybody make another angle 1. Okay, now if you're the feeder on the 4th beat, you feed another angle 2, okay? And then everybody roof block and check. All right, so that's super easy, right? A 1, a 2, a 1, another angle 2 as the feed, and that last angle 2, and I should have clarified this, don't let it go all the way through because it's not going to. You can kind of freeze that, and then move in a little bit, and here's your roof, and simulate your check. Check here, check here. This is the feeder side. 1, 2, 1, freeze. Everybody's going to do those same motions. On the 4th beat, the feeder is going to give another angle 2, and then on the 5th beat, the feeder is going to move in just a little bit and roof and check. One more time. 1, 2, 1. Here's the feed, move in, and roof and check. Okay? Now the receiver side. You already know the first 3 beats. 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1. You can put the stick on your left shoulder, right? After the 3rd beat. Okay. Outside deflect. So imagine as that angle 2 from the feeder comes in, you bounce your stick from your left shoulder to your right shoulder off of their stick, and you check. And then you feed over the top so that they can roof. Okay, so again, 1, 2, 1, outside deflect, and then feed that roof block over the top. This is the receiver side. 1, 2, 1, outside deflect, check, feed over the top for their roof. One more time for we'll do this and then we'll do everything. 1, 2, 1, outside deflect, check. Get your room, buddy. Sorry, guys. Overhead. Go to your room. I don't want to hit you. Go to your room. Okay? All right. So the hardest part of this drill is remembering who's doing what. So when we're learning, I like to verbalize, and I'll say who the feeder is. Every cycle, it switches. Okay? So since you're all training solo, you're going to treat this like you're one entity. You're always going to do one side in relation to me. Okay? So to start with, I'm going to feed you. So we're all going to do this together. Everybody make an angle 1. We would make contact. Angle 2, make contact. Angle 1. Okay. You would do your outside deflect, just the way we practiced, and then you would feed over the top for my roof. Okay, so I was the feeder, and then we would start again. You're the feeder. 1, 2, 1. You would give me the angle 2. I would outside deflect, and then I would feed you for your roof. And now we're going to switch again. I'm the feeder. 1, 2, 1. Here's the feed. You outside deflect, and you feed over the top, and I roof. Now you're all the feeder. 1, 2, 1. You give me angle 2. I outside deflect it, and I set you up for your roof block. Okay? We start largo, and then whomever is receiving, you'll move in slightly to medio when you outside deflect and check. And then when you feed over the top, that roof block check needs to happen at medio. Okay? So does everybody see the idea? Every cycle you switch roles. I'm the feeder, you're the receiver. Then we complete one cycle, then you're the feeder, and I'm the receiver, and so on. So because you all did that through the technology, teaching you these is going to be super simple. Okay? So 1, 2, 1, 2 high shield roof, and 1, 2, 1, 4 gunting roof. Let's actually learn the gunting 1, 2, 1, 4 first, because it's easier. Okay? So what does that mean? It has exactly the same structure. We're going to go 1, 2, 1. The feeder would give an angle 4 instead of an angle 2. The gunting is here. I drop the tip of my stick to my left. I take my left hand palm up, almost like a tonsau. You would be attacking, for your perspective, it would be this angle. So I meet that and I open it. That's the gunting open. And then I would feed you for your roof. So see, everything's the same. The only thing that's changed is we're going 1, 2, 1. The feeder is giving an angle 4. The receiver's doing the gunting. And then the receiver's feeding for the roof just like normal. So I call it 1, 2, 1, 4 gunting roof block. The first drill is 1, 2, 1, 2 outside deflect roof block, right? So we'll try it through the technology. I'll start off as the feeder. We'll go nice and slow. So we all do 1, 2, 1. Here comes your angle 4. You would do gunting, and you would feed over the top, and I would roof, right? And then we repeat it. 1, 2, 1. You're the feeder. You give me an angle 4. I would open up your 4. And then I would feed you over the top, beautiful, and you would all roof. So that's the idea with that drill. So the first drill is 1, 2, 1, 2 outside deflect roof. This is 1, 2, 1, 4 gunting roof. Now, the hardest one, 1, 2, 1, 2 high shield roof. So as you heard that, you probably figured out we're going back to 1, 2, 1, 2. So the feed is going to be, whomever's feeding is going to be an angle 2. Now, here's the hard thing. If you're receiving, just watch me. Well, actually, we'll do it together, but I'll show you if you were going to be the feeder and I was going to be the receiver. But everybody watch. So we go angle 1, we meet. We go angle 2, we meet. Now, remember, I'm the receiver. Angle 1 again, but I bounce it to my open side. You go through. You would give me your angle 2. So I meet your angle 2, stick on stick. Here's my check. And then I would feed you over the top for your roof, just like normal. So the only reason this drill is hard, when you're the receiver, you've got to remember to go 1, 2, 1 and bounce it back to your forehand side. If you go 1, 2, 1 and you go through, you're never going to get it out here, back here in time. Okay, so if we were physically training together, you would feel something that I often do as a little bit of a helper. On the second angle 1, 1, 2. On this one coming right here, I always hit a little harder because I don't want you to hit through. I want to knock your stick back to your forehand side so that you're in the proper position. Obviously, we can't make stick contact. That's when I'm teaching this to somebody, I'll often feed it that way when I'm the feeder, because it's, 1, 2. I'll give you a harder angle 1 because I want to knock your stick back to the forehand side so that you're in the right position. Okay, so we'll try it through the technology and I'll call it for you. Okay, and I'm going to start by feeding and I'll remind you of what you do. So let's go a teeny little bit slower. We both make the angle 1. We all make the angle 2. Here, you don't go through, right? And then here's your high shield and your check. And then you come over the top and I roof. That's the one, okay? Now, you're going to feed. So this is easy. You just go through like normal. So we go 1, 2, 1, and then you give me your angle 2. I stop it here, and then you roof. That's the one. Okay, so without eating up all of our time, see 1, 2, 1, 2, outside deflect roof. 1, 2, 1, 2, high shield. That's the one we just did. And 1, 2, 1, 4, gunting roof. And I was just saying in C-Lot class, sometimes as I go through this, I would probably teach the 1, 2, 1, 4 gunting roof first because it's so much easier than 1, 2, 1, 2 high shield roof. Okay, let's wrap this up because we are running out of time, and I'll show you one thing. Okay, which is, yeah, kind of where this all culminates at the end of phase 1. So Eskrima 1 with the female triangle. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm sorry, I know I'm small. Here, my apologies. Okay, so this is my footwork pattern. Female triangle. I'm stepping out with my right foot on the odd angles, and I'm stepping out with my left foot on the even angles, except for angle 12, which I will break down for you. So step out with your right foot, angle 1, switch, 2, switch, 3, switch, 4, switch, 5, switch, 6, switch, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, freeze your 11 out. As you arm your 11, you come into like a cat stance, and then you move in and hit that 12 because we want to end offensively. Other than that, it's identical to, switch, or I should say it never breaks the pattern. Right foot for odd angles, left foot for even angles. That's the female triangle. Okay, now the male triangle. The male triangle is I'm standing at the point and I step back along the side. So we're going to start by stepping back with our left foot and without me falling off into my keyboard. Sorry. Okay, almost like I don't have enough space or something. Switch, 2, switch, 3, switch, 4, switch, 5, switch, 6, switch, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and freeze. Okay, look at my feet before you try this. Bring this down, slide step into 12 because we end offensively. We don't want to end retreating. Okay, lateral triangle, and then we're going to wrap this up super quickly. Lateral triangle couldn't be easier. I was saving the easy, sort of an Inosanto tradition, saving the easiest one for the last. If I start neutral, I step in to a right lead for my odd angles. I step back into a left lead for my even angle. So everybody start neutral, step forward, angle 1, back, 2, forward, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and then we come into that same kind of way that we finished on the female triangle. So like we hit 11 as we arm the 12, it's like a cat stance type of motion, and we come forward, right? Because we don't want to step back into a left lead for and be defensive. So that's kind of where all of that culminates. The backhand series, we've looked at this before. Backhand series and then sombrata, and I'll wrap this up. I know I'm a few minutes late. I will only go for another 90 seconds or so. Backhand series, backhand, remember, flip X, right? Destroy whatever angle comes in, flip, 3 beats, 1, 2, 3. That's called key lot, 1, 2, 3. So you destroy the 1, make the key lot. Destroy the 2, make the key lot. A little bit slower. Destroy whatever angle, flip to the top of the head, X. That's the key lot. That's Sagita. The key lot has 3 beats, 1, 2, 3. Okay? Split the Kawaiian. You know you're going to backhand destroy whatever comes in. You've been doing that for weeks now with me, months with me. Loop the angle 1, down the line, up the line, vertical redondo. So loop the 1, down the 2 line, back up the 9 line, vertical redondo. 1, 2, 3, 4. When I coach it, I'll do exactly what I just did with you. I'll say loop it, down the line, up the line, vertical redondo. Beat 1, everybody see the line on beat 1? Beat 1 and beat 4 are not the same line. If I'm looking right at you, beat 1, I'm hitting you in your left clavicle, just like angle 1. That's why I'm saying loop an angle 1. This is your slash of an angle 1. Loop the angle 1. Angle 2, but you open. Back up the 9 line, and then the 4th beat is our regular vertical redondo, right to 12 o'clock, right to the top of your head. Boom. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so green belt phase 4 is the 3rd level. Here we're finishing. Now we have all the variables for the Odebes or the backhand series. The final thing is 3 count sombrata, contra y contra sombrata. So there's A and there's B. I'm going to be A through the camera, and then and I'll kind of break this down for you. Much better as a 2-person drill, but we can certainly train it and start to learn it and understand it through the technology. B usually starts everything off with that, right? So A is going to roof and check. All this you have to check when it's your tool. A is going to return an angle 1. B is going to inside deflect. So here's the inside deflect and return an angle 4. A is going to drop stick. So this is together, drop stick with a palm up check, and then I return the overhead. I've just become B, and the other person has become A. So there's 3 pieces. This is the way I teach this in my kids' class. And I don't want to discourage you if you're like, oh my goodness, he teaches this to kids. Yes, I teach it to kids because it's learnable. There's only 3 pieces. Roof, check, return an angle 1. So this is your first, and you can check here or here. But you're not allowed to just do that because we're not learning it at Largo. It's too easy at Largo. We're learning it at Mayo. It's a 2-handed drill. Okay? That's the first tool. Second tool, the stick is point up. It's on the right side of your body. Move it across to the left side of your body. Check over your arm, over your stick arm with your left hand. Return the angle 4. Don't really go through. Just for learning, just kind of freeze it out here, right? So inside deflect, check, angle 4, halfway. Inside deflect, check, return the angle 4, halfway. Inside deflect check, return the angle 4. Inside deflect check, return the angle 4. Okay, first tool, roof block check, return the angle 1. That's even a little too hard. Maybe more like here, right now. Roof, there, okay? Second tool, inside deflect check, return the angle 4. Third tool, drop stick simultaneous palm up check, return the overhead shot that we don't have an angle for, okay? First tool, and return the 1. Second tool, return the 4. Third tool, and return that overhead. Okay, so we're going to do it through the computer, and we'll end on this. Okay, I'm A to start, and you're B. So you start with the overhead shot. It's my roof. I return the angle 1. You do the inside deflect and check my hand. You return the angle 4, and I drop stick check and shut you down. Now I'm B and you're A. You roof and check. You return the angle 1, and I inside deflect and check, and I return the angle 4, and you drop stick. And now we've switched again. Now I'm A. You go overhead. And you're B, so you inside deflect and return the 4. And then I drop stick and continue. Okay? So, I mean, I keep saying this. I'm not trying to make lemonade out of lemons. Yes, we would all much rather be face-to-face in a studio, but if the alternative is we didn't have this technology and we couldn't do any martial arts right now, I will take this technology any day of the week, okay? I mean, yeah, I would love to be right there and safely be able to just maneuver you in the right position, but this is pretty doggone good. Like, I mean, for what it is. Imagine doing this if the pandemic were in like 1998, good luck. Like we'd be, you know, hey, do you have that book open? I got the book open. We'd be on our phones, our landlines, you know, okay, I got the book open to page, blah, blah, blah. You would be doing picture number 1. It would be terrible. So this is way better if the alternative is not having martial arts in our lives at all, okay? I will do this super fast. Yes, there is an awful lot. That was the first 3 levels of single stick Inosanto La Costa. What I will say is everything you're seeing here builds off of what you've learned before. And when there is something random, it's usually informed by prior learning in some way. Okay, so yeah, it's a big old curriculum. You know, Guro Inosanto used to say, teaching FMA at the academy 3 hours a week, every week. He used to say it took him about 7 years on average to teach the majority of his curriculum. I don't really know because I tend to see who's in front of me and who's training and what level they're working on. But having a roadmap is a really good way to go. Last thing I'm going to say, for anybody watching who wants to formalize their distance training with me, go to stoopsomalc.com. And we, gentlemen, are also having our virtual Filipino martial arts trainer weekend, the last weekend in June, the 27th and the 28th. If you're not available, there will be an option, because we're recording the whole thing, where you can participate on your own with the recordings at a lower tuition point than live. I think for everything I'm offering, there's a lot of value, but I know money is money, and if you can't attend, I totally get it. But anybody watching that's interested, please do contact me. It's virtualfmatrainer.com is the website with all the info. Okay, let's bow out, everybody. Chinese, Filipino, Thai, Indonesian, French and Dog Brothers, Japanese. I will get this uploaded faster than last week. I'm caught up, but thanks everybody, and see you next time. Thanks.